Hey guys, Beth here at Yogalates London. I'm so glad that you could join me this morning. How is your Saturday going so far? The sun is shining. It makes a change from all of that rain we've been having this week, but then it's England. What do we expect? But lots of rain. Good for the plants though, right? So today I wanted to talk to you about ways that you can bring more Pilates, more strength work, more stability into your yoga practice. So if you're super passionate about yoga, but you think you might benefit from bringing more Pilates into it, then you are not alone. This is something that a lot of teachers I'm seeing are starting to do worldwide. Everywhere I'm going, I'm seeing more Pilates coming into yoga classes, which is like music to my ears. I can't tell you. I'm so pleased about this. There seems to have been a little bit, so just before I go into that, I'm going to talk you through, well, I'm going to show you 3 exercises on the mat that you can do, which are traditional yoga postures that you can integrate more Pilates aspects into. So you can kind of bring more of the strength and stability work and the core stabilizing postural work into these more traditional yoga postures. So I'm going to get around to that in a moment, but beforehand, I just wanted to talk you through why we want to do this quickly. So why do we want to bring more Pilates into yoga? Well, for me, there seems to have been a lot of this kind of, if you go on Instagram and you search #yoga, there seems to be a lot of skinny white chicks, for want of a better term, doing a lot of really quite contortionist yoga postures, which is great. And, you know, if it gets more people into yoga, great. But what I'm concerned about is that there's a sort of glorification of flexibility. There's this idea that you've got to be super flexible to do yoga. And you know, I hear this in a lot of people, especially men, who get intimidated about coming to a yoga class because they think their bodies aren't flexible enough, they're not mobile enough. When actually, you know, from my perspective, I think it's tighter bodies who would benefit most from that kind of flexibility, you know, creating space in the body that you get from a yoga practice. And I love yoga. You know, I'm super, super passionate about yoga. But I recognize for my own body that bringing in more stability work, more Pilates exercises into my yoga practice is so, so helpful to avoid injury and to be able to make my yoga practice sustainable in the long term. So just to give you an idea, so often what happens is there's imbalances in the body that get created by doing lots of one thing. So we want to mix it up. We want to integrate more, we want to do yoga. We also want to do cardio. We want to do strength work and weights work. And that's why I love combining yoga and Pilates, because, you know, Pilates kind of brings in a lot of core stabilizing work, but also full body strength work using resistance bands, weights. If you work with me one-to-one, we work with weights. And I really do think there's huge benefits that can come from this. And what I'm seeing is that there's less injuries going on when people are bringing more of this Pilates into yoga. You know, the danger of doing just yoga without any Pilates aspect to it can be that, there's underutilized areas of the body. So there are muscle groups that aren't quite being balanced as they should be. So, I mean, I know in traditional yoga, I certainly had a teacher once who was, you know, always telling me to disengage my glutes, you know, disengage my bum muscles, basically. And this is a very common traditional view in yoga. But we don't really want to do that. We want to engage our glutes. You know, we don't want to over tense, but we don't want to switch them off completely. So that's kind of a bit of a dangerous cue, if you ask me. You know, we want to engage the glutes. The glutes are actually super important for protecting the back, for stabilizing the pelvis. We want to, obviously, I see as well core instability going on. I love going to a yoga class where there's core work involved in that, and more Pilates coming in to stabilize the core, to work the core and stabilize the back, so that the back really benefits from using these deep postural muscles of the core. And of course, you know, also shoulder instability, and that's very common in yoga as well. If you're doing a lot of chaturanga and you're not strong enough in your arms and you're not stable enough in your shoulder girdle, that can create a lot of problems in the long run. So, but the good news is that you can improve your strength and stability using more Pilates or whatever strength work you're doing on the side, whatever weights work you're doing, bringing that into your yoga practice to help create a sustainable practice for yourself, so that you're practicing a long way into the future, and that and practicing without problems, without injuries, without anything kind of getting in your way. Cool. So as you guys know, I teach Yogalates, which is a blend of Hatha yoga and matwork Pilates. And I am super passionate about this blend. I really think it's great for a lot of all bodies, because, of course, as I just mentioned, you know, a lot of people with tighter bodies, yoga can be so helpful for them. People with more hypermobile bodies, more flexible bodies, are often told to do more Pilates. So combining the two elements kind of gives you a full body workout. And not just, you know, physical benefits, but the mental and emotional benefits of yoga practice. Of course, we know how great yoga is for the mind and the body, and on an energetic level as well. So I get tighter bodies coming to my classes. I get more flexible people coming to my classes. I get men and women. I get people from of all ages. So I get people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s coming to my classes, and a whole range of abilities. Are getting, you know, the relaxation and flexibility and holistic benefits of the yoga practice, with all of the stability and the strength work and the resistance work in Pilates. So let's get started. So I want to talk you through, as I said, three poses, three traditional yoga poses that you can do at home, and you can tweak them to bring more of this kind of strength work, Pilates work in. All right, so do feel free to move along with me at home. You don't actually need a mat for this practice. You can just do it on the floor. Cool. So first of all, we're going to come and lie down onto our backs for bridge pose. Seti Bandhasana. So lying long on the floor, making sure that you've got nothing underneath your head. You want the head on the mat. And in yoga, we would traditionally not roll up through the spine, but I'm going to show you the way we do it in Pilates. So just tucking the tailbone under and rolling up through the length of the spine and engaging the glutes. As I said before, you know, we don't want too tight, but we don't want too loose in the glutes. We want to feel a moderate engagement there in the bum. And so holding into our bridge in Pilates, you know, it's less about the back bend and more about this kind of ski slope line through the body. So in my classes, you know, I do both versions of bridge. I do it with the back bend and this more sort of stabilizing version of bridge pose. So if you're up in your bridge and you can take the weight over onto the left foot, you can take the right leg up to the ceiling and point through the toes. So I'm really activating through that lengthened leg. You can't really see my toes, unfortunately. But I'm going to start doing little circles with the leg. So pointing the toes up to the ceiling. And what this does, I'm feeling it really in my glutes, so that I'm getting a lot of stability work into the back body. I'm working those postural muscles, and then I'm going to go the other way with the leg. So circling the other way. And I'm keeping really stable in my pelvis, really stable in the upper body. It's just my thigh bone moving in the hip joint there. Great. And then I'm going to take the leg down so it's in line with the thigh. And then coming back up. And coming down. And I'm trying to keep the bum as lifted as I can. So I'm really feeling the work in those muscles of the glutes here. Okay, good. And then coming down, bending the knee, popping the foot on the floor. And then I'm going to even it out. So if you're doing this at home with me, we'll do the other leg as well. Pointing up through the toes, keep the bum lifted, and little circles with that other leg. Always making sure that we're kind of long in the back of the neck here, that shoulders are grounded, supporting us into the floor. I'm feeling a nice openness across the chest as well. And then we'll go the other way with the circles. So keeping the glutes engaged. And that foot really planted in the floor, that standing foot. Equal pressure through the whole foot. And I'm going to take the leg down and sweep it up. So you can see I'm just moving in the hip joint there. So just moving the thigh bone in the hip joint, keeping the bum as high as I can. So Really feeling the work here in the glutes. I hope you are too if you're doing this at home with me. Keeping the other foot planted into the floor. Good, and then taking the leg down, bending the knee, popping the foot down, taking a breath in, and exhale, we're going to roll down through the spine again, coming back into that neutral position, as we call it in Pilates. We want that slight space under the lower back there. Okay, so hugging the knees in, we're going to roll up, and I'm going to show you how you might want to move through. So traditionally, Dandasana, staff pose, we've got the feet flexed, heels into the floor, and really engaging the front of the kneecaps and thighs. So I'm going to show you how we can start to bring some spinal articulation and core work into this traditional pose. So Dandasana, legs are really strong, sitting up as tall as we can. So really working those hip flexors, working the quads. And then bringing the arms up, we're going to start to roll down. So taking your breath in, relax the shoulders, and exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis under, draw the navel back to the spine, and slowly, slowly, slow as you can, rolling down through the spine, really feeling the work in the abdominals here, bringing the head down, arms come up, arms come over, feeling that full body stretch, lovely sense of spaciousness, and then inhale, arms come up, exhale, tuck the chin, peeling up, so really working those front abdominals in as you're coming up, sitting up tall, take a pause on the inhale, exhale, we're going to move again, so keep those legs engaged, so the Dandasana, the staff pose, legs stay exactly as they are, so you want to try and keep those heels glued to the floor, and really feeling the lower ribs pulling into the abdominals. That's a great kind of tip I like to use here to kind of really bring our awareness and make it a little bit easier, so tucking the chin, feeling the front lower ribs pulling into that abdominal wall, and coming up nice and slowly, really articulating through each of the vertebrae. And if you want to, you can also take the body forward on the exhale, draw the tummy back, a nice forward bend. Okay, coming up to sitting. Great. So I'm going to show you one more yoga pose that you can bring more strength work into. So come and lie down onto your belly. Tops of the feet into the floor, and arms are going to be alongside the body. So we're going to come into locust pose, so tucking the tailbone under, getting that stability of the pubic bone pushing into the floor, and that will help to lengthen the lower back. What we want is always a lot of length in any back bend. So tops of the feet grounding into the floor, engaging kneecaps and thighs, reaching the fingertips back, roll the shoulders away, take a breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to lift the head and arms and chest, and lift the legs as well. So we're feeling the work in the glutes. This is a great one for strengthening the whole posterior chain in the body. So we're strengthening from the shoulder girdle, squeezing those shoulder blades in towards one another. Feeling like we've got satsumas underneath the armpits, we're squeezing. Lifting the thighs so that all of the back spinal muscles, the paraspinal muscles, are getting a nice strength in here. It's really strengthening, feeling that work all along the back of the body. Tucking the chin, so we want the crown of the head coming forward. And then we're going to bring the palms to face the ceiling. So this is where I'm going to bring a little bit of Yogalates into our traditional locust pose. And take a breath in and exhale. We're going to push the palms up to the ceiling until we feel the work in the back of the arms. Inhale to lower down to hip height. Exhale to push up. Inhale down. Exhale, pushing up. And keep going. You can also do locust pose with the legs down. It's absolutely fine if that's better for your back. But I'm really starting to feel the work in the back of the arms here. The triceps are often, they can be very weak for some people, for many people. You know, this can be a really weak area. So working the back of the arms is incredibly powerful, sort of helping you with any poses like chaturanga or push-ups, lowering down onto your front. Okay, so doing one more, and then releasing down, just take the head to one side for a moment. Good. And we'll place the hands alongside the body, tuck the toes under and push your way up. I hope that was helpful, everyone. I'm gonna scoot off now, but do message me if you've got any questions, or if you want to work with me. At the moment, I'm offering online Yogalates classes every Thursday evening. That's London time, and at the moment, I'm opening up the new term. So there'll be a new 6-week block that you can sign up for if you like, starting on the 21st of May. So it's a cheaper way to attend all of those Yogalates classes in that 6-week block. And I'm also teaching Sunday morning yoga class in that block as well, and a Monday night meditation. So you can kind of get the benefits of all 3 of those practices for a very reasonable price if you sign up for the whole block. Oh, I'm a bit out of breath now. But you can also drop in as well. So if you head to my website, yogalateslondon.com, you can find all the information there about how to sign up for any of my online classes. You can drop in anytime this week or next week, and hopefully I'll see you on the mat soon, guys. Enjoy the sunshine today. I hope you can get out to enjoy it, and do stay well, and I'll see you guys soon.